Hey, it's your boy Gasson, dog. So I just got finished watching this debate, and I swear, it's gotta be one of the greatest shows I ever watched. I've been, Netflix has been like my go-to thing for a minute now. I'm not even gonna joke with you. And today, the the debates literally took all the fun out of everything. Um, to keep it real, I don't know if I should be laughing or scared or enjoying it, or I don't know, but uh it was crazy. um One thing I want to say is there's a lot of people trashing Joe Biden. I want to applaud him because, to be real, he sat there for majority of that and just let Trump just dig a hole all by himself. The man, in the first like 30 minutes, nobody can get a word in, not even the moderator. The moderator had to stop, literally put a stop to him. And that turned into a debate because pretty much he started arguing with him, and he had, at one point, he literally had to tell him, like, you're debating him, not me. But Trump just wasn't letting it happen. I believe we literally watched a grown man deteriorate before our eyes because I don't know at what point, if it was a strategy or not, or if he was just really just that upset. But literally, it got to a point where it was just him arguing with him. Like, he wouldn't let Biden get a word in, and then once Biden did get a word in, it was, he pretty much made sure he pointed at the screen and let everybody know directly. So his strategy was clearly to talk to us, the people, where Trump's strategy was to attack as much as he could. And it was like watching a dog attack a steak. Uh, but it's like, imagine if that steak was like not tenderized, it was just like not seasoned or anything. Like, he literally was just. I know that doesn't make any sense, but like, that's all. I can't think of a way to describe what I just watched. Like, I'm over talking about food. Speaking of food, and weird things to talk about. At one point, Trump decided to slide in there that he's the reason why football is back, and I'm an avid football fan. Um, I refuse to believe that he's the reason football is back. There were a lot of players who was going to opt out, and they chose not to, and they're the reason football exists right now because they decided to try to bring entertainment to us in a time where most of us are home and can't do anything else. So shout out to them for being real ones, risking life and all, because they're most of them are in great shape, but this virus has taken out some people that are in great shape, so we don't really know how it's going to affect a lot of people once they get it. They keep it all the way real with you. Uh, so shout out to them. On to more crazy points. They at some point decided to start talking about climate change, in which Trump tried to tell everybody that the reason for forest fires was trees on the ground and leaves. Now I want to remind this man, before we existed, uh, before we decided to knock down trees and leaves, which is something that we generally do. Trees and leaves sat on grounds for centuries, and nothing burned, nothing got set on fire. Um, these fires that are going on have nothing to do with humans or our lack of cleaning forests that are not supposed to be cleaned anyway. Like, I don't see anything in the Bible about us cleaning forests, to keep it real, unless it's trash. Um, I don't. I think that the forest kinds of cleans itself. Everything in the forest is biodegradable. It all goes into the ground, and new trees grow. So that doesn't make any sense. I don't know where he gets his logic from, but that's pretty wild. The forest fires come from the intensity of the heat, my friend. The intensity of heat on those things that are on the ground, but it really doesn't matter because a lot of things that are in the forest are flammable. Even the trees that are not on the ground that are standing up, they're still flammable. And when you have intensified sun due to global warming, then things tend to burn. I feel like he kind of misses the point on everything. It's like he kind of like has a general idea of what he feels like should cause the problem, and then he runs with that. Like, he runs with that idea and sticks to it like nothing. It's kind of like when he got the idea about the medicine. He kind of like stuck with that idea, and no matter how many times he was proven wrong, he refused to be wrong. He would just continue to double down on it. And, it seems to be a thing of his. Is like, even when he's wrong, he's gonna double down. I think the most pressing thing that happened tonight that I listened to was he was asked to condemn the white supremacist groups that have been assisting in causing riots. Um, he's been screaming Antifa, 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 even though there's proof that white supremacists are showing up to Black Lives Matter protests and causing all types of things that then lead to riots. They're purposely fueling fires, hypothetically. And he tends to call them Antifa, which is crazy because if you look up Antifa, it says that a lot of them are actually right wing, not left wing. So it's kind of weird when you when you hear about him screaming Antifa, not realizing that if you look up the actual group, a lot of them are right wing. They're not left wing. A lot of them have extreme ties to white supremacist groups, and they do things to fuel fires that literally to cause problems on purpose, to draw to bring black issues and other issues into a bad light. It's a different type of racist strategy. They're at a point now where they can't just say black people are just animals or beasts or things like that. They have to literally make us look like it. So they have to, stage things a little bit. Well, he decided that condemning them was something he wasn't going to do. Not in 2020. Never. Why would you ever do that? No, instead, there is a white supremacist group called Proud Boys. They've been on Twitter and Facebook for a long time, and they're very well known for the things that they say and do to to antagonize African Americans as well as other races that they deem not worthy of being in this country that we built. This man responded with Proud Boys stand down and stand by. I don't know in what world that is condemnation. You're telling them basically to stand by until you get reelected so they can stand back up again? I'm confused. As I'm reading through social media and things like that, I'm literally looking at white supremacist groups like applauding and excited. He gave them a 5-star boost. Like, these dudes are on some other shit right now, and some of them are even important that in the last 3 hours they've gotten an influx in new members to their white supremacist groups. Like, they out here adding people like Netflix. It's crazy. And it's all because the president refuses to condemn them, and he calls them nice people. And then I see these videos of him condemning them a long time ago. They're like in 2001. He's like, yeah, those white supremacists. That was before he realized they were his base. Now, if you don't know how this man works by now, you're retarded. Anybody who backs him is now a great person. If you don't back him, then you're all types of names, whatever name he can come up with. Of course he was condemning white supremacist groups before because they were not anyone that he was interested in. Even though it's been noted by his own niece that he grew up in a very racist family, where the family itself had deep-rooted racial problems. He had no reason to condemn anyone that wasn't causing him money at that point. So now, he had no reason to endorse anyone who wasn't giving him money. Endorsing anyone who was giving him money at that point. They weren't affecting his pockets, so he could say whatever he wanted to say about them to look good on camera and TV. Especially being a businessman trying to break into the TV world, he had to make sure that he had no kind of bad press when it came to racial problems. Now he's a 70-year-old man running a country. He can say whatever he wants, whatever he feels, and he can support whoever he wants and whoever he feels, because the truth is the majority of people that voted him for racial reasons. Sadly, I know mountains of black people so far that just, man, they are lost. They're lost and they're easily manipulated, and it sucks because it's the world we live in. So I've now realized that 40% of our country is mentally retarded and or brain dead. And with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to let everybody that votes for this man know, after watching this debate tonight, if you vote for this man, that means that you are knowingly signing your racial death certificate. You're letting everyone know who you really are. I don't care what color you are, what creed you are, where you came from. You are officially saying that you're a racist by voting for this man. If you let this man in, it's not a matter of politics. It's a matter of humanity, self-respect, and just, just being a good person. Why would you want anyone like this to run your country? There's a point where being smug and being an asshole is funny. It's not funny when you're running a country. It's not. And that's just the facts behind everything. So anybody that votes for this man come this election is holding this L today. And any L that's coming after this, following the rest of these debates that are coming up, I wanted to let you guys know that every L is running concurrently. I'm giving out L's like a judge around this joint. Concurrent L's. They're all running in one row all together, and you're going to hold multiple at one time. With that being said, deuces. Hold this L for me.